Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, we are so happily and lovingly engaged once again right here on Operation Status Quo. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. I am your user-friendly host, Pete Palma, of course, and this is Operation Status Quo, where I'm sure if you're a regular viewer, you well know by now that this is a place where we observe the status quo of life, we learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then we create our own flow of quo-yo, because that's the only way to go, right? Because you have to mitigate what's going on in the world, understand what's going on in the world, but it doesn't mean we're not empowered to choose our own paths and create the most joy and abundance possible for us here today, right? In our world, in our life at this moment. So today is the 22nd of May in the good year 2023. Thank you for being here with me. And I'm so excited today to have a wonderful friend of mine, Crystal Banks, who has been following a holistic plant-based lifestyle for, I guess, a couple years now. Well, we'll let her tell it all, but she has some great information to share about how she's brought, health and happiness into her life through her journey. And let's welcome her here now, if we could, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. It's Crystal Banks.
Hi,
hey, Chris. I'm doing well, thank you. You know, I get a little excited when I introduce people. It's almost like it turns into like a wrestling match or something, or boxing.
Listen, you used to do that in yoga, and I loved it.
That's right. Yeah, Crystal was fortunate enough, or maybe not so fortunate enough, as to be in a multitude of my yoga classes, right?
Yes, I loved it.
It's hard to do all the postures when I got you laughing so much, right? No.
Oh, I was always laughing, but you know what? Laughter is good because it brings off the good endorphins. You know what I mean? And it heals you from the inside, so that's good. Laughter is good.
I'm with you on that 100%. So, Crystal, let you take the floor here for a moment and just tell people about yourself and, how you've gotten on this journey with your, I posted a link here in the description box to your Facebook group page, Holistically Plant-Based with Crystal, because you share information about your journey there and such. So tell the people all about Crystal.
Yeah, so thank you, Pete, for having me first and foremost. But I'm so excited because this month, period, is my 5-year anniversary of going plant-based.
Oh, there we go, 5 years. Hold on, I know you can't hear this right now, but a round of applause, a couple dings of the bell, a little harmonica. That's amazing. Yeah, it's 5 years. 5 years, wow.
Yep, May 9th made 5 years. So I was really honored when you said you wanted to talk to me about it and have me come onto your platform. That is amazing. I'm so excited. So 5 years ago, I decided to change my health and to heal myself from the inside out. I'm a nurse, but prior to that of 2018, I kept having issues, 10 or 12 years prior to that, having issues of eating meat, and all of a sudden, I just started getting sick. Hands swelling, face swelling. I was starting to have a lot of different allergies, so inflammation set in. So 2018, my husband and I were eating dinner. It was March. It was right before my oldest and my youngest. One was graduating college, one was graduating high school. And I got so sick, I ended up in the hospital. We were eating dinner, and I kept saying something's wrong, and it felt like my throat was closing up. Went to the hospital. I was so inflamed. My tongue was swollen. Here it was maybe some antibiotic or something that was in the chicken. You know how they always put a lot of stuff in food, right? And you have to be mindful, grass-fed, not talking about anybody's meat or anything. But the bottom line of it is I was starting to have reactions to preservatives and things put into food. Right. So I had to be mindful. So I already started taking things away years prior to 5 years ago. But that really scared me because I thought I wasn't going to be at my son's graduation. Mm-hmm. So they tried to tell me I had thymus cancer, all this crazy stuff. I had to see a thoracic surgeon. So I decided to take matters in my own hands. Was on Facebook, and my girlfriend was doing transitioning herself to become a vegan and using her sorority sister. So I reached out to her sorority sister, and Clark. She helped me with my journey getting started, and I'm really appreciative to Clark. She's a chef, she's a vegan chef, and she helps people transition. So she helped me transition. I did great, started feeling better within 30 days, and within 90 days, I was no more having no more food issues, no more gut health issues, any of that. So I was done with her helping me transition, and I continued on, and I started noticing that I was depleting still, even though you're eating and you get majority of your vegetables, your vitamins through your fruits and vegetables, but you still need more of a supplement. So I still was trying to do a multivitamin, got sick from a multivitamin. Pete, I have no clue. How do you get sick from a multivitamin? It's supposed to help you, right?
Yeah, well.
It's
you know who's making that stuff.
Exactly. It's the preservatives in it.
Yeah.
So you want something that's whole food.
Right.
So pandemic hit, Pete, and I kept saying to my husband, I still don't have a multivitamin. Nothing that is helping me with what I have. So then I happened to just go on Facebook, and it was not Facebook, I think it was Instagram. I happened to see somebody was going live. Because I love the Food Network stars, and they had a young lady on that was just talking about, she was a registered dietitian. So I decided to go to her Instagram page, which has helped me now become a better vegan, a better plant-based eater, because now I'm getting all my vitamins in, all my whole foods. I'm getting my protein that I need, because, you know, I'm busy, I'm on the go. You'll see I just did something today when I was running around today. You need to make sure that you still have a well-balanced diet. Being a vegan, a lot of people say, well, vegan is bland. Vegan is not bland.
Right.
It's called seasonings. Listen, this sister likes seasonings, okay? I love my soul food, so I make my plant-based soul food, okay? I hate them seasonings, honey. I be putting all my Cajun seasonings up in there. Okay?
I don't know how that would go over in the deep south at a barbecue joint, you know?
Listen, and it's so funny because my husband is tearing my food up. I'm like, you're not even a vegan. So but you know, he be licking them fingers, honey. He be listening, especially when I make that honey butter cornbread, and I transition all my grandmom's recipes into where I can eat them too. I'm not gonna sit here and let you be busting a grub, and I can't bust a grub too.
Right. And I want to say that's amazing about, you mentioned that before about your grandmom's recipes, and just to say, because, you know, my family has done the same thing over the years, and to what you're speaking of, you know, people automatically think that when you go on some sort of, and again, this is not about saying go vegan or not go vegan, it's all about people, what's right for them, but, and whatever, you know, anyway, but the point is that you're not missing out. Like I say this all the time, like I do eat meat, but I'm not buying, you know, like, I try to buy farm raised or
right, grass fed, things like that. Like my girlfriend, so that's what I do for my husband now. I get all my stuff through her, because we see the videos. We know if you go on Netflix and you watch how they do our food and stuff now, and it's processed, and then you got chicken shortage and this shortage and that shortage, and it's a shame that we here in America, if you go, I watched somebody recently, it was on Instagram, talk about the school lunches. Now listen, we lived off them school lunches. I'm getting ready to be 51, you getting ready to be 50. We lived off of them canned food, school lunches, grilled cheese.
I used to like those pork patty, it was a
pork
roll. The pork roll. Wait, but let me just finish that one thought I had before, just to say what you were saying about your recipes. My family's done the same thing. Like my mother especially, you know, had a lot of sensitivities in digestion and different things. And over the time that we've changed our diet to be a more holistic type of way of eating and, you know, whatever, she's taken tons of recipes. She makes delicious like homemade breads and cakes, and, you know, that's all made with healthy stuff. It's not like enriched flour and all that nonsense. Right.
And that's the key. Make it yourself. I'm not sitting here saying don't go out to restaurants. We go, but I'm mindful and I'm looking to see what I can eat and what I know I'm not going to have a reaction. But that is key. You're not missing out.
Right.
You can take your grandmom's recipe, the tradition, and you can change it to make it more healthier. And that's what I've been doing over these last 5 years, making it complete plant-based for myself. And it has been trial and error. And it has been phenomenal. I mean, my husband's lifestyle has changed. My lifestyle has changed. We're healing ourselves from the inside out through food.
Right.
That's the key.
Yep.
And everybody, I tell everybody, start up with your meatless Monday. Work your way up. Say, okay, I'm not going to have a soda today, but I can go ahead and I can make mine. Okay, I'm going to have a mocktail. All right, I'm designated driver, but hey, I can still have a cocktail. It'll be a mocktail. Make it your own. Get those elderberries. Get that hibiscus tea. Make it yourself and put that splash of Pellegrino up in that bad mamma jam or some club soda and do your own like little simple syrups. You can make it your own.
Right.
You make your food, you can make your own. And that's key.
Yep, and unfortunately, and this goes back to a lot of topics I discuss. I mean, of course, we're honed in on being, your journey in vegan and plant based and such. But unfortunately, I feel like one of the main issues in our world today is just how pre-programmed people are to ideas, and they don't even realize. It's like, this is the thing that I think is part of. I don't want to go off on a whole tangent about it, but like, the division that we face today as a society, comes from a place of, people authentically, I think, wanting to be true and follow their hearts, compared to this societal programming that's been done that tells you what you should do, as opposed to, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we've been lied to about our the power we have for our own health. We've been lied to about, our food, about, I mean, everything, where they do it to the water. I mean, even our economy. There's no reason for anyone to have lack or suffer. It's and I don't mean to make it. I know I get on these rants sometimes, but I just feel that it's an attack on people. Yeah.
Listen, me and you were on the phone for 55 minutes before we talking about that. Because we're like, mind blown. Like, your mind is blown on everything. Like, you probably see behind me, these are my tower gardens. I grow my own herbs and vegetables and fruits in my house.
What do you got out there?
That is a tower right there. I have my basil. There's my mint. My oregano is going wild. My parsley went wild. And behind there, in my other one, that's all my Swiss chard and all my lettuces.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right. And I'm going to be growing strawberries. I can grow strawberries in there. I can grow watermelon. So these are my two tower gardens. I have a 13-gallon, and this is Big Bertha. That's the 20-gallon. Now, you can grow these in your house, or like I have 4 seasons here. See, Pete done moved to Florida, where my oldest son is. And I'll be there soon, Pete.
Yeah, come on by. You're welcome here.
Listen, can you imagine me and you together?
I don't know. Bring your husband. We're going to need somebody to keep us calm.
Big Daddy. But I'm getting like 2 more towers, because these can go outside, so they don't have to be in here. So by the time we move to Florida, when he retires in a couple of years, I'm having my own greenhouse. Right. Because I want to be able to give back to the community. Now, my neighbors in my cul-de-sac, they love me because they're constantly getting basil and parsley and oregano. They're like, this is so crazy. This is delicious.
And I talk about this all the time. Imagine if we all did that, right? Everybody in the community. And we're always so worried about getting to the store. Stores that are creating, like, to me, like just about everything in the grocery store, especially if you want to include things like Purdue and those kind of brands that are killing and abusing the animals before they even get to you, right? So, and aside from that, everything between the Doritos and I always go back to Doritos and Oreos, and I'm just saying it's all poison, and look what you're doing. You're growing. And if everybody did that, we all could feed each other and for free. Like, the earth is giving us what we need, for God's sake. It's just like, it's insanity.
It's crazy. And again, like, this is hydroponic. Like, so, like I said, he has my link. You guys have my link. I have a tower garden link. You can go on my Holistically Plant-Based with Crystal on my Facebook page. I partnered up with Juice Plus and Tower Garden, and that happened in the pandemic because I was like, I need more. Yeah. I need more protein. Like I was saying, I went for my follow-up. I'm doing great. Everything, the inflammation's down. My skin cleared up. I had horrible acne. Everything cleared up. My joint pain. Arthur, I got rid of Arthur. Okay. Yeah. Arthur is not coming back up in here. All up in this. I'm like, my cells have been healed. Like, I'm so grateful. And we can only grow more. Like, my cholesterol level, everything. So I was like, you can't take regular omegas because they got that fishy burpee taste. So I take my Juice Plus plant-based omegas, and then I have my berries, which is for your antioxidants. It has the acai berry in there. It's all for helping you with your vascular health. And then you have the fruit and vegetable blend. That's what helps with like your blood pressure, your glucose and blood sugar and stuff. These are like healing, but these are like fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Like, you can't beat this. This is whole food, comes like pressed.
Understood.
And that's what I use. These are my supplements. Mm-hmm. And as far as like my husband, he uses this protein, which is the Perform, which if you look like a lot of athletes, and you probably saw on like the Food Network and all the other channels, Juice Plus actually has their own commercials now. Okay. Like on the Food Network and all of that. Like, they're promoting that. And like, these are like my regular chocolate and my vanilla. So like, I made a zucchini bread smoothie right before I got on with Pete, and Like just add fresh zucchini, and that's another thing I grow in here is zucchini and eggplant. I love my tower gardens. Literally, a lot of people go, "Oh, they're so expensive," but you pay monthly. You pay monthly, and in a year, you done already paid it off, and you already saved over like $500 because you're not going to the grocery, and you don't have to wash this. Get the chemical stuff and wash it with the chemicals, or wash it with the vinegar and all that. You don't need to do that because it's in your house or it's outside where you have it, and it's organic. It's no chemicals, no pesticides.
Now, how about vegetable juicing? Do you do any of that?
Yes, I do. I do juice. I love juicing. Sometimes I'll do like a little kickstart and I'll juice like once a month for like 5 days, and I go and get some beets. And I will juice my beets. Like I'll go to like the produce stores. You know how in Jersey we got tons of produce. And now
no, I miss produce. I miss Produce Junction. I will say that down here.
Produce Junction. Yeah. You got Bertucci's. You got like Bill and Lynn's. Like you got them all. Like I love it. And I know in Florida, like I think you have to go to Plant City, don't you? You have to go get your produce.
Well, I guess I could. There's a couple different stores I go to here, and I really hate to say it because it's like my arch enemy of stores that I despise the most. But unfortunately, at Walmart down here is it's so different than at home. The way, and I for the amount of produce I buy for juicing, that it really does value me to go there as much as I hate it. But I also have to clean the vegetables pretty good because there's I don't trust where they come from there either. That's why I'm saying like stuff like what you're doing with these towers and stuff. And even a step further, you start to learn to even just grow your own stuff, like plant it in the ground.
You can plant it. Like around here, we have the 4 seasons in New Jersey. You can plant it, but also too, people don't realize you can grow in your house year round too.
Yep.
Not even like, it's not even about me advertising what I do with Juice Plus and being an ambassador. You can even put your plants in here, and you can plant your own plants in here. Like I'm going to be doing the potato sacks and the onion sacks. That's going to be like my new thing this year. I'm doing that because I want to do my own sweet potatoes. Do I still go to what's it called, Esposito's? Remember right there off of I forget what it's called, Cedarbrook Road, I think it is.
Okay, I'm not sure if I familiar with Esposito's.
And Stella Farms, remember Stella Farms?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
Exactly, you get the potatoes and the corn and all that. I want to do all my own sweet potatoes. I don't want to have to wait until the fall to get the potatoes. I should be able to do potatoes all year round. It's just all about your soil.
Yeah, right.
Compost.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth. So yeah, for me though, the difference, like I know some of the things you were saying, the pills or the supplements you were showing, like I look, that's what I do a vegetable juice for. I make a juice every day, like a 32 ounce, thing. And I put I put celery, I put spinach and kale, I put garlic, ginger, and turmeric. I put cucumber, red peppers, parsley and cilantro, and I don't know, whatever, lemons and broccoli. If I didn't say that, I just I just have like a whole bunch of stuff, and I make a big thing.
Green juice.
Yeah, so and beets and carrots. I put that in there too.
Right. So what you do is, what I have been doing lately, and I'm going to tell you a good immunity one that I drink every morning. I'll go through what I do in a day. But when you start talking about your base for your green juice, you know how you have your base with your celery, your cucumber, your lemon, your ginger, and all of that base, you can triple that, take half of it out, pour into your mason jars, and then just juice your carrots, and then you have a base, then just add your carrots. Mix that, there's your carrot. Then just juice your beet, because you have your base, and then pour your beet juice in there, shake that up, and you still have the same thing. Instead of doing it separately, do your one big green juice base, that is your base. And then go ahead and then I'm going to juice like 32 ounces of carrots. I'm going to juice 32 ounces of beets. And then you can just halfway.
Right.
And
I guess you're saying you make it for like a time, you'll make it for multiple days. I try, personally, I found that I like to make it fresh every day, the whole thing, because when you juice, it does kind of start to break down the nutrients pretty quickly. So, I've done it before with time, because I understand you're a nurse, you have a busy schedule, you don't have like an extra 45 minutes every day.
Every Sunday for the week. But like today is my meal prep day since I'm off. So then I'll meal prep for the rest of my week. So that's what I do. I do that juice. But as I'm getting ready in the morning, what I do is I have my tea kettle going with my water, and I will take like about a thumb, like about a half an inch of ginger root, and then of my turmeric root. And then I go ahead and I take my turmeric root, I take the ginger, half a lemon, some fresh cracked black pepper, and a little bit of agave or maple syrup, like a teaspoon, just a little flavor, and a dash of cayenne pepper, and I let that steep for 15 minutes. So I'll pour the hot water over top, and then I'll let that steep for 15 minutes. And then once that's done steeping, then I sip on that. That helps with your immunity, my immune system. You know me, I'm in a hospital.
Right.
So that helps with my immune system. I drink 8 to 12 ounces of that every single morning as I'm driving in. That's my go-to.
Understood. Let me ask you a question. I just kind of popped into my head. I just thought it was interesting. So now you've been on this journey for 5 years, and you've seen, you obviously it's developed over time. You started, like you say, make it a meatless Monday or skip a soda today. It doesn't have to be all in one shot, step by step. But now you've been doing this. You're living this life, and you see the benefits of it for yourself, your family, and such. Now you're working in a hospital, right? So you have been before, but I'm saying, but you're working in a hospital, and you see what steps you've taken naturally, holistically, that have made a huge difference in your life, that have gotten you off medications and healed your ailments. And now you go into this hospital every day, and and the protocols you have to follow are completely different. And I'm just wondering, how do you mitigate that in your day? Like, do you want to just grab every patient and say, get the hell out of here and go get some vegetables? You know what I mean?
Okay. I would be lying if I didn't say that in my head sometimes. But again, I took an oath to do no harm, right? So that to me would be like doing some kind of harm by it, because they're going to follow their doctor. But my thing of it is what I found recently, especially the younger doctors, they're all about the holistic. They're not pumping some of these people up. And I've been working a lot with the GI doctors lately, and I've noticed they're like, they even one doctor pointed, it was like, you need to talk to your recovery nurse, because she healed herself. Like, it's all about what you put in your mouth. Nobody's saying you can't eat what you want to eat and have your special days and all that. And it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. And he's like, a lot of these doctors lately, because they know my journey, they know me, they were like, listen, you need to hear her story. Like, you wouldn't even believe half of the stuff that was going on, and like her family, and how like she's helped her, even her son who was analytic spinodosis, Devin, who just graduated from college. Thank you, Jesus. I had the last one. We are totally empty nesters now, like, for real. I'm an empty nester.
Well, you got the trees now instead. You got the grow trees back there or whatever.
Yeah, right, there you go. But he loves it. He's a plant-based eater. He still likes his seafood, so I call him more like a pescatarian.
Right.
Every now and then, Devin will eat chicken. Mm-hmm. But like my husband, like I would say 75%, he's plant-based right with me. And I didn't transition him. They just started, whatever, like everybody goes, what do you make? A whole bunch of different foods? No, I don't. Whatever, because I even have patients ask me, well, how do you live like that here? And they're buying you food and stuff. I said, they don't buy me food. I bring my food. Mm-hmm. I make my own. Now, do I bring stuff in and give to them? Like I said, my one girlfriend, I give them basil and all this other stuff. Yeah, I do. We all, when we have our farms going, but they're amazed that all year round I can give them fresh herbs and fresh salad, because they can't, because they're doing theirs in the summer and the spring.
Yep.
Because they don't have these.
By the way, you mentioned eggplant earlier too. They grow an egg. I love eggplant, and of course, being Italian, the eggplant parmesans all the time. My grandmother was like a magician with eggplant parmesan, but I make a pretty good one too. By the way, I haven't done it in a while because I'm all by myself, and after my move, I've been around, so I don't take the time as much with some of those things as I did, but I will get back to that. But I wanted to mention a great idea for a recipe, because my mom has done this before. She actually made meatballs, what would be meatballs, but they're eggplant and quinoa. She would boil the eggplant and make it soft, mix it with the quinoa, and cook them on the pan a little bit with some avocado oil, and then put them in your tomato and let them, really, really good. If you're an idea, or if you want.
Funny you started talking about the oils, because I was going to tell you, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, mm-hmm. They're all like, and grapeseed, you can use that for more of the high heat, like people use vegetable oil and canola oil for that. I use the grape seed if I wanted to do something, because that's better for high oil.
And I use avocado oil for high heat personally. They say it's good up to the 500 degrees. And, with olive oil, I have the extra virgin olive oil, but I'll only use that raw.
Fair.
I'll put that on my salads or something like that. And matter of fact, I put a tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, into my vegetable juice as well, and colloidal silver I put in my vegetable juice too.
Yes, because that helps with your joints and the synovial fluids in your joints. That is so perfect. Mm-hmm. That is so perfect.
Yeah.
And people, and that's good heart health too. That's good heart health. And walnut oil. People are getting this on this walnut oil kick. I haven't been able to find it. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't really looked. I mean, I really pretty much stick with coconut oil, avocado oil,
Coconut
and
oil.
olive oil.
I love
Yeah, pretty much what I use for. It satisfies all my needs. Even with the coconut oil, I know it's not eating per se, but for your mouth health, I do swishing with the coconut oil, it's like 4 days a week. I put coconut oil, I put healthy salts, like real salts, like the Redmond's real salt, or nothing that's processed. Like there's this brand that I buy that I've been buying for years and years, and it's got all the main minerals that your body needs. Anyway, I mean, I drink salts during the day like that too. Like people would drink a cup of coffee, I put a scoop of these salts in the water and drink the salts because your body's an electrical system.
Yeah, because
Right, and the salts, right.
keeping your alkaline system up, your natural
Exactly, right,
water,
right,
instead of going to buy the stuff that's not really alkaline.
right.
You know,
Yep.
you're doing the right thing because you're using all the right salts, you're using all the right things. And like you said, man, I wish, like I said, when I am home, when it's my day off, I juice fresh. But when I have to meal prep for my week, by the third day, this is a little different. I'll be like, Lord Jesus, let me get through this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I'm getting something, Jesus.
But the oil pulling thing, the coconut oil, the salts, and some peroxide, and you swish. And I'll tell you, my mouth. I haven't been to.
Every morning, and I make my own. Like I have very sensitive teeth, and everybody goes, "Your teeth are so pretty." I'm like, "Yeah, but the kids giving birth and they draw from you. I have sensitive sensitive teeth, but like the hot and the cold too fast. I make my own toothpaste. My husband was like, "Babe, I was gonna go get you some Sensodyne." I said, "That's the devil." I still say that. That's the devil.
Yeah,
I still say
I
that.
used to use that back in the day too. Sensodyne.
I make my own toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody goes, "Oh, she's like, oh, she's a fanatic." No, I don't push any of that stuff on my family. I just let them know this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing that, and they just follow. Again, people are following. They're understanding. They're getting it. And even my husband said, since he's changed his eating and he had his meat and stuff, but not all the time like he used to. Like he had just said last weekend, he was like, "Babe, did you make your curry stew thing?" Which I do with like the chickpeas and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't want to see meat for like a week." I'm like, "Why?" He was like, "Because I was running around and, he's like, I had a pork chop one day, I had this one day." And I was like, "Oh, fix it, Jesus, fix it."
Well, honestly, it's a shame because the pork is really the worst one, and and I've heard stuff that they basically injecting the pork with the vaccine crap too,
Yeah.
So
I heard it doing that with not just the pork too, the beef as well, And I personally, again, I'm not sitting here. Everybody has their own political views. I just think it's wrong. You should let people know. Be open and honest. Like I'm open and honest about like my health journey, and it's not about, to me, healthy comes in every different size, shape, form, color, whatever. But as long as you're healing what your ailments are from the inside out, and you want to give back, you give back. But don't purposely put things in people's food, which I think is wrong, to serve a purpose. I don't think it's right to do that and then not make the consumer aware.
Well, the thing is, if they really cared,
have a reaction. Like I can't get the flu vaccine because I had gotten it years and years ago. I mean, like before my second kid, and I had a reaction to it, which gave me Guillain-Barré. So I can't. There's certain vaccines I can't get anyway, and I know things are mandated. They talk about it for nurses and stuff like that. But there's vaccine waivers, and again, I don't even want to get on the vaccine stuff.
Right.
But again, you started talking about how they're already injecting them with antibiotics and things like that. We all know because they tell you what they put in the food. But it's not right because you don't know what's going on and what people's allergic reactions are, and you have to make them aware. Don't put on the label all natural, no preservatives, no antibiotics, and then no vaccines when it's not true. Right. It's not fair to the consumer because somebody's going to die, and it's not right.
Well, personally, when I go down that road, I feel that's their intent. I mean, why else would you do it? I mean, like, why would you not make food that is let Earth produce it the way it would produce it? Even with the meat.
Right. That's why God made the earth, so we can sow on it. We sow on the earth.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I lost my train of thought there because you were saying something. I was going to say something else, but what the heck was I just going to? You were saying about what were you just saying? I lost my train of thought.
What the vaccine? You
Oh yeah, we're
stopped.
talking about that, but injecting the meat and stuff like that. Oh,
Oh,
and I was going to kind of say too. Going to go back to just talking about in general that for myself. And again, first of all, this is what I was going to say when you were talking about stuff. That's the whole point of like what I do when I try to do this show. It's not about saying what's right or wrong. It's not about, and to me, I'm a very firm believer in this. There is no right or wrong, good or bad. This is the earth school. We're all children of God here to learn, and we're all souls. So this is just like a playground. And, what frequencies and energies and vibrations you want to, vibe with, as it were, and resonate with, that's how your life is going to be. So when I'm doing this program, like, and having people like you on to express your views and different things I talk about, it's always just to get people to think about things and see things in another way. And it's not about judgment. It's not saying, oh, rah, 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 and not getting mad. Like even mad, like even the people that, if you want to go down, especially the political stuff and, all the divisiveness and the anger, just the sheer anger, and I say, like, forget all that. It doesn't matter. Like, to me, turn that off, just turn it all off and live from your heart and move forward from there. And everything you need will come, to fruition. Just like, it's what you're doing in a sense, as far, but, with your vegan journey, this is what you believe. You're not there to argue with anybody. You're not there to go pounding on people's doors and saying, oh, you can't eat meat. You got to be a vegan. It's just, listen, this is me. This is what resonated with me. This is what I learned. This is how I've progressed. And that's, you're just trying to share a message. If this works for you, great. If not, I hope you find the message that does work for you.
right, exactly. Because being a vegan is not for everybody. Being 100% plant-based, like or pescatarian, and you still eat chicken and all that, it doesn't matter. You have to, like, as long as you're happy and you healing your body from the inside out, and you're making sure you go to the doctor, get your blood work, make sure you're good, and you feel good. It's not. Again, my husband's not a vegan. You know what I mean? I'm not pushing it down his mouth and stuff like that, but he's picking and choosing, and that's what it's about. We all are different, and what works for one person may not work for another person. But if I am helpful, I love helping people, and you know that, Pete. I
Yeah.
know you want to help people too. I'm all about helping and healing and trying to guide you. Okay, well, this might not work for you, but hey, call so and so. They have a great thing. Or my girlfriend's a registered dietitian, like I was saying. My girlfriend Kelly, who got me on the Juice Plus journey and helping me with that. Like I said, I started with my girlfriend, who got me hooked up with her sorority sister, who Clark, who is a chef, and she helps people transition into becoming a vegan and helping them heal themselves from the inside out. Then a couple years later, I meet Kelly, who is a registered dietitian, and talking about the plant-based supplements for people on the go, and your kids can take it. Like
Right.
Devin gets this stuff for free because he happened to be in college from 4 to college age. And there's so much out there, and there's so many different products and things out there. But the reason why a lot of people go, well, why did you hone into just Juice Plus? It's in their tower guards. It's because it's food. It's
Right.
nothing else in it. It's just food, cold pressed, and put into a vegan capsule.
Understood.
And I can pop and go, and it's juicing in a bottle. It's juicing in a bottle. So when I'm not able to juice, I'm good. But I take this every day anyway.
And look at the benefits that your husband's getting. Even though he might not be the same journey, he's eating stuff that you're preparing. He's getting a portion that works for him, and then over time, maybe if he decides he wants to do more, whatever he does. But I'm sure he feels better too from eating this stuff.
Yup, he only eats meat maybe 25% of the year. And
Yeah.
I'm saying year now, and it has changed drastically. Like, he was a straight carnivore. Like, I had to have that big steak honey up in his face. And I was okay with it. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
that's him. I never could eat that stuff even before, to be honest. I just always had issues. But I am so grateful for, like, you're doing this, and you're getting different people on and understanding, like, there's different walks of life, different walks of journey. And what, like you said, what works for me not work for everybody, but I'm here. Go on my page, check it out. I'm here. I don't even just talk about Juice Plus. I just talk about my recipes. Oh, I came up with this. Oh, check this out.
Yeah.
Go to so and so. They do this. Oh, I know you were asking me about this particular recipe or this. And like I don't use sugar. You know what I mean? I don't use sugar. I stop even buying refined sugar in my house. I use cane sugar for my husband and my son, but I use date syrup. I buy fresh dates and I blend it up and make a paste. I syrup, agave.
Yeah.
I do things like that. You know what I mean?
You could even make jams just out of cooking blueberries and boil them down.
And putting my chia seeds in there, get more protein. I got to figure out ways to get my protein. Protein, baby, and fiber. I got to get it in there.
Yeah.
Got to get it in there.
Yeah. And you know what I found that works for me too is just that over time, I just eat once a day. I have dinner, like, so during the day I hide. What's that?
You fast and juice all day. Yeah,
during the day I hydrate, just water and vegetable juice, and then in the evening, I have my meal. And because I noticed for myself personally, like especially back in the days when I was like sitting in an office working, I could go out to lunch or something and eat a big lunch, and I would still go home and eat just as much. It wouldn't be like, oh, I ate this for lunch, like just the way my body, for whatever reason, food, like I'm just going to eat, right? So I realized I don't need as much as I just started learning more over time. You don't really need as much. Everybody thinks you got to eat and got to eat. And you really don't need more. It's really mostly about hydration, and most of your hunger pangs are really thirst. Yeah.
And meal portions. It's all about your meal portion. It is. It's making sure that you get at least 60 grams of protein in a day, or get your fruits and your vegetables in for the day. Like, it's how if you're trying to build muscle, you need a higher protein diet.
Well, I will say this, though, too, that I don't know how much I agree with this 100%, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But there was one person I followed that, really believes that humans are designed to be frugivores, that we should just be eating raw fruit and nothing else. Fruits, some nuts, some vegetables, some nuts and seeds, minimal, but mostly. And this guy basically lives off watermelon and mangoes, Now, he looks pretty thinned out, but exactly. People would say the sugars.
I call that a raw vegan on a different level.
Yeah.
He on a great different level. I think he even surpassed Dr. C, be honest.
So, but they talk about, some people criticize that because of the sugars, and people, the fruit gets the negative with the sugars. But from how it's explained, once ultimately food and everything is broken down in your body, it turns into the glucose anyway for your energy. So, basically if you're eating fruit, it's minimal. It's not as much pressure on your body to digest and transfer it to energy,
The natural sugar, not a process.
Exactly.
That's why he can do it. And again, it all depends on who's a diabetic, who has this, who has that, who needs to do. Again, you got to do what's good for you. And obviously, it's working for dude. Yeah. It's working for him. He's loving it. So that's like an alkaline diet on another level. Like I'm reading up on stuff too, and I'm learning even more. And like I was saying, I noticed that people that move down the south, move to Florida, is less processed and more available fresh fruits and vegetables for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everything's so vibrant and alive down here. It's like, and you said, you grow all year.
Exactly. And what I love, every time I get off that plane and I go to visit my son, my daughter-in-law already knows. She already got me my fresh raw coconut. Already has it tapped, ready, honey, with my straw.
Well, I hope you can come up with some good vegan alcohol too to help everybody out there. That should be your next project.
Listen, it's all about the adaptogens. It's all about the different little herbs and stuff.
Well, listen, Crystal, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here on Operation Status Quo today. It was a wonderful conversation. You're so fun to talk to and lively and energetic. I mean, just let me give her a round of applause here. Take a look at this woman, for God's sake. She's plant-based. She's got more energy than, I don't know, she's shooting through the walls. You can do it too. Hey-o. So, yes, thanks again for your time. And again, Crystal's Facebook page is in the description box below here, so you can click on that, find her, and join the group and check out what she's doing. And if you want to contact her and have questions, I know she'd be happy to help you out and all that type of stuff. So, Crystal, any final messages or anything you want to say to the people before I let you go?
Just look, take it one day at a time, one simple change. Your journey is your journey, but journal. I journal every night. Just write it down. Don't brain dump. Mental health is like clarity. Just take it one day at a time. Laugh, love, and just live life.
All right. That's a beautiful message. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Um,
All right. I'm going to let you go, and I will catch up with you soon. Thank you so much.
all right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. And there she goes, ladies and gentlemen, Crystal.
Heyo.
Nice, right here on Operation Status Quo. What a wonderful conversation that was. And again, that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. We're building this community of like-minded people to help bring people together, to help bring positive vibes, to help just show how much it's up to you. You can empower yourself to create the life that you want. We don't have to listen to these, I don't want to make it too heavy, but we don't have to listen to these overlords and masters that decide what's best for us. I mean, we're true expressions of divinity, each and every one of us, and we all have the opportunity and the power to make our life what we want it to be. So thank you so much for being with me here today on Operation Status Quo, where of course we observe the status quo, we learn to flow with the quo, and then we create our own flow of quo. Because that's the way to go. And you can do that. If vegan is right for you, then you can go down that flow of quo for you. All right, so I'm Pete Palma. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please take the time to subscribe, like, share, send this out to all your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. We all know they need the most help of all, right? So God bless each and every one of you, individually as well as a group. Nothing but love from this show right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pete Palma. Thanks for your time again, and I will be back with you tomorrow. Operation Status Quo, disengaged.